strange hatred of it from big content creators like Pirate Software, and it's actually getting a ton of backlash. But I want to break it down because this is maybe the most requested topic ever on the channel. I mean,
you sure? Because the last time I checked, I thought it was Xbox's dead videos. That's why you keep on making them.
You guys have no idea how many hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of comments and messages and stuff. People say
hundreds and hundreds and thousands of Xbox's dead videos. We understand, Dreamcast. Go ahead.
Why aren't you just guessing Stop Killing Games? And this is a very, very important project. Now, Stop Killing Games, it's an initiative that absolutely needs to happen. Right now, if you buy it,
just like go woke and you go broke. Let me tell you something. The gaming community ain't nothing but a joke. You know what? You want to hear my honest opinion on it? I personally don't care because there ain't enough for you people to make any sort of dent or impact as to what's going on here. All you really doing is wasting your time, bruh. Like, I mean, you got to ask yourself, man, we got 155 million Switches, 75 million PlayStations, even though 25 of them were shipped, but still, regardless. 35, 40 Xbox Series X's out there, Xbox 140, 100 million PS4 owners. And guess what? You was only able to get a million signatures? Now you got to ask yourself, out of all these gamers in the world, how come nobody else is advocating for this? We're talking about multiple platforms, people. And yet, we only getting 1 million signatures? That's it? You got to ask yourself, how are we going to make any sort of impact?
Okay, if you buy a physical game, let's assume it's the good kind, the kind where the entire data is on the disc or on the cartridge. You can pop this in and play it forever. At least that's...
No, you can't. What are you talking about? The PlayStation 5 has DRM. You cannot use that physical game unless you synchronize it online. What are you talking about? And on top of that, with the Switch, guess what? Future Nintendo consoles are going to have where it has to be an initial setup just so you can access your old gaming catalog. That is DRM. So if your Switch 1's 30, 40, because let's be honest, guys, this is electronics. Things break. I mean, just look at appliances in your house. Have you had the same microwave for over 50 years? Maybe an old CRT television because they were built with the most utmost quality. But let's be honest, people. Things come and they go all the time. Even you as an individual, when you get older, we start becoming more feeble and weak. It is what it is, man. Nobody can escape this, not even inanimate objects. Okay? There's going to be a time where your Switch 1 is not going to work anymore. Those games that you picked it up for, I'm going to try to play it on the Switch too. Well, guess what? Maybe that same game might not work. So explain to me this whole concept or philosophy of that, I have this cartridge and it works forever. No, it doesn't. It works as long as Nintendo wants to keep it. It works as long until your Switch 1 don't break. Nothing lasts forever.
It's the idea, right? The same way you can play PlayStation 1 games on a PlayStation 1 as long as the disc and the console work. The idea is that if you buy something...
So you expect us to put our own, eggs in a basket on a 30-year-old platform, CDs that get, bro. Oh, yeah, it's going to last forever. Bro, listen, I take care of a lot of my retro stuff, but a lot of those game CDs printed back in the days, they were printed with a very low quality, okay? And you got people spending hundreds and thousands of dollars on PlayStation 1 discs. They better be in somewhat remote condition because you guys got to understand that was 30 years ago. Things deteriorate over time no matter how much you take care of them. And you're putting all your faith into a PS1 just so you can play Final Fantasy VII again. Oh, Bandit.
Supposed to own it. But this last decade, the industry has made a big shift. This big push towards live service games with constant updates with a forced internet connection has made it where there are now literally thousands of games that are just gone. They're unplayable. And a lot of them are weird because...
You're like, gangster, why are you laughing about this? You supposed to be... Bro, listen, man. I'm going to keep it 100, man. That's one thing about my channel. I don't have to go on this whole fear-mongering. I'm going to sit there and tell you, bro, it doesn't matter. Because all these complaints that you're saying, none of this is going in an NBA 2K or Fortnite player. They honestly don't care about what's going on. All these games getting canceled that you love. I'm telling you, go on Fortnite and ask any of those people that are playing it about Perfect Dark being canceled. They're gonna sit there and tell you, I don't even know what that game is. I'm being honest. And then you're gonna have people get mad at me for telling you the truth. Listen, man, I love old school retro gaming. I got the Soul Reaver coming tomorrow. But I'm gonna sit there and tell you, you people need to get over it. Enjoy the moment. Because that's something, like you said, it lasts forever. Well, guess what? You sure don't. There's going to be a time where all this stuff that you have purchased is going to go to somebody else. Even if it's like Atari throwing all their games in the garbage. That's where it's going. And you want to sit there and talk about, oh, well, on PS1 I own it. You still need a CRT. That works. Listen to what you people are saying. Oh, but we own it. Okay, what happens if your CRT breaks? You never thought of that? Oh, I'll just put it on HD TV. It's going to look worse. You're going to stretch the image quality. At the end of the day, you're going to still need a lot of these old things, which most of these new age gamers ain't going to go out there and buy a CRT TV or go find one in the middle of a garbage. Okay? They're not doing that. You people know this. Stop capping.
That we even have physical discs.
Oh.
Battleborn, Overwatch, Concord. I'll admit that a lot of the games that are going offline are bad, but it is weird that you can purchase a game that later is taken away from you. And the Stop Killing Games initiative is basically a big push that says if you buy a game, you own it, even if the company shuts down.
Yeah, well, you own Battleborn, you just can't play it online. That's it. Nobody's saying that you don't own the game, you just can't use it.
Even if the servers shut down, even if they go to other projects, you as the consumer deserve access to some sort of playable version of it. So,
But if that was the case, then explain why the PS5 you got to synchronize the disk drive online. You guys can keep arguing that the game is on the disc all you want, but at the end of the day, you guys are acting as if your disk drive will last forever. 10, 15, 20. Do you guys honestly believe that? Like, you have to ask yourself, as a smart consumer, do you honestly believe, especially with how cheap things are and how they manufacture them, that a disk drive from 10, 15, 20 years on a PS5 is still going to work to play your physical media? And do you have to say to yourself, do you think Sony's going to support it 20 years from now, that if you buy a replacement disk drive, that they're going to synchronize it for you again? You guys are putting too much trust in these companies. They don't care.
let's break down the initiative. Let's break down the pirate software drama and his witness to that now those games don't physically exist. If you buy an Xbox game right now, even if you buy like a physical box, the game isn't really in there. You put the disc in and it completely installs off the internet, which means in the future, when those servers go down and when Xbox gets shut down, when those studios get shuttered, those discs become inert. The game you have currently...
Just like the PS5. No different than the PS5. If Sony does the same exact thing, like, bro, listen, and you guys want to keep saying, oh, my purchase is more secured on Nintendo, and so, okay, they're so secured. What happened about all the PlayStation 1 and 2 games that I bought on my PS3 that I can't take to the PS4 and PS5? Let's also talk about the fact that I bought some games on the Nintendo Wii, I bought games on the Nintendo Wii U, and I could not carry it to the Nintendo Switch. And you people want to sit there and say that Sony and Nintendo is way different than Microsoft? If anything, Microsoft is trying to merge PC and the home console market together so you can be able to continue to still have your gaming library. That's why the original Xbox uses x86. That's the same stuff they're using now, which is only going to make it easier for them to transition all that to PC. The only people that messed up here was Nintendo and Sony, which a lot of you ponies ain't want to talk about. That's why you ain't got no PS3 games working on your console. Because they decided to use the cell processor because they try to screw over the competition by having third-party make games solely for it. That's exactly why it exists. Y'all like, what? What do you mean, Gamester? They literally took, because the PS2 was very popular, they took the foundation of that and say, okay, let's come up with a cell processor so when third-party make games, they have to make games specifically for us, which would only make games harder for the competition, which also means that they were trying to secure the third party in a very anti-consumer way. You get what I'm saying? And considering how popular PlayStation was, that's how they figured, oh, okay, this is how we can get these guys. But nope. But what ended up happening, Microsoft came up with something that was very easy to make, no different than the PS1. Y'all, like, I love GameStop because he has gaming history, and it was easier to make games for. So all the third party flocked to that instead. So what Sony tried to do with the PS3 backfired. That's what ended up happening. They wanted all third party to work on their Pacific box and not to make games for anybody else. That's the reason why the PS2 was made in that way, and that's the reason why the PS3 was made in that way.
On your shelf just gets taken out of your collection. This is essentially, people are trying to get this in, whether it was Wrath of the Lich King.
Like, why are we talking about online only games for this?
Is shutting down the Anthem servers. Players will not be issued refunds, and the game will no longer be playable until January 12th. I have Anthem. I played Anthem. I played a lot of Anthem, and it's just gone.
Be smarter with your purchase. Be a smart consumer. You're acting as if you're a casual. I bought this game when it was like $2.99. I might want to try it before they shut the service. At the end of the day, man, you guys knew that these games was online only. You know what I'm saying? You still bought into this philosophy. You still thought that these companies cared about me. And now they look at it. They're shutting servers on you.
A lot of people talk about the fact that this is extra weird because I feel like we're entering this strange fugue state of ownership. If I buy a DVD, I can play that DVD forever until it breaks. If I buy a CD, I can listen to it in my car or on my CD player while I'm at the gym, whatever, right? Whereas if I buy a game, a lot of times on the actual disc itself, they claim you don't really own it. You just own it as long as we're giving you permission to access it.
It's a license key.
In fact, I have to show you this. This is so insane. Ubisoft has updated their terms of service that said if you, like, for some reason the servers go down, they want you to destroy your physical copy of the disc. Ubisoft is saying not only do you not own the game, you will never own the game. No matter how much you pay for the game, you'll never own the game.
So destroy it.
And a lot of people are specifically the Stop Killing Games movement for all the lies around it.
You know what it is, bro? It's not that I don't want to support these movements. You guys have to understand. You guys have done this to yourself. You can say whatever you want. You guys have literally done this to yourself. And the funny thing is, the ones that are advocating against all this, well, guess what? There's not enough for you to make a difference. I'm not going to sit here and waste my time fighting some physical gaming war. Like I said, gaming can go down right now, and I'm happy. I have over 30, 40 years of gaming in my household. I don't care, bro. I'm happy. You're not a real game. Oh, say whatever you want, but I got real games in my household that I can still continue to play. This is why I told you, get your retro games you need. But you didn't listen to me. You keep thinking that these companies have your best interest, and I'm here to tell you that they don't care. And it's not enough for you to actually make a difference. So why do people keep complaining about this? You know, you out here complaining about an online-only game, not having server. It's online only. What did you expect? They should have put bots. They should have put something to make the game work. Bro, your games have to be installed. What do you don't understand? The fact that you got to do that means that you never owned the game in the first place. It's DRM.
That are very much over budget, but the whole idea behind it is
well, I mean, think about it. If Sony's making a PlayStation 6, the games have to be over the budget. You think anybody's going to buy a PlayStation 6 if the games look remotely the same as PS5? This is why I keep telling you guys, gaming has stagnated. Okay? Every generation we went, the games was looking and starting to play a little bit more better, right? Can we all agree to that? Can we all have a same sentiment there? How is Sony going to be able to... I'm telling you, all the Xbox and the new PlayStation 6 will be is slightly better graphics and just more performance. That's all they're going to do. They're going to play it safe for you. Trust me. The days of taking chances and trying to compete for the consumer's dollar is not there because free-to-plays make that situation far worse and more dangerous.
The Stop Killing Games initiative is just saying, give us some sort of access to it if you're going to shut it down.
Just let us log into it online. Just let us destroy a bot. Let us put a bot lobby, please.
We're not asking for backporting as well. A clear part of the initiative is going forward. Basically, if you made,
Put
obviously,
bots.
Concord as an example, Concord can't come back. I don't think anybody wants it to come back, but essentially it's saying that in the future, if you make some sort of looter shooter or something like that, you are required to give people some ability to play it. Something like that. Like, I understand some genres
I mean, that would be nice, but do you think companies really care about that?
are going to be more accessible than others. If you have something that's purely, hey, there's a cloud server that
That's not
generates...
true because games like Ark Survival still have single-player components, and that game is a massive multiplayer game. Companies are purposely doing this, and you people keep eating it up.
every piece of content, every piece of dialogue. That stuff's going to be harder to do, but I guess my point is the fact that I just don't believe the lie that this is somehow going to break games. The next great, crazy World of Warcraft classic-style moments aren't going to happen because, oh no, the servers have to talk to some nebulous corporate entity.
But you guys don't understand. For these companies that have these servers up, it costs money for them to maintain it. This is not damage control. This is legit. So if they're paying for the server and there's not enough people playing it, which is engagement or people buying anything, they're going to shut the servers down. It's like, do you really think Fortnite would have existed if nobody was buying DLC or skins or dance moves? That's the reason why the game is alive. The day people says, I'm not buying Dwayne Johnson on Fortnite no more, is the day Fortnite goes, we shutting the game down. Well, you think we're going to have Fortnite living forever if nobody's making a purchase? The only reason why the game is successful, because even though people are not buying the game, they're paying for stuff within the game store. But once, like, I don't think that would ever happen, but we'll see at some point. Things do change. The day people say, I'm not buying no more Fortnite skins, the day Fortnite will be shut down too. The only reason why it's not shut down because of how popular the game is. It's that simple.
This, to me, it's running defense. A lot of people think that this guy, Pirate Software, he has said some stuff that is very strange. If you look at a lot of his videos now are getting completely downvote by... Here, let me refresh this just to be toxic.
To be toxic? Oh, that's wonderful.
130,000 subscribers lost in the last 30 days is wild. But the thing is that the whole initiative is just about preservation. Did you know that 70% of all games ever released are just unplayable now? 70%. A lot of them.
It ain't like that in my household. Maybe it could be in 70% of you, or should I say 99% of you fake wannabe gamers in your household. But that's not the calculations over here. So I don't know where you're getting these metrics.
It's just on any platform. They're not playable in a back state. There are so many games that are already just lost to time.
And whose fault is that? Whose fault is that? You want companies to feel bad because you lost your little GameCube with your Pokemon Red and Yellow? Whose fault is that? You a grown man. Go buy it. If that's what makes you happy, go buy it.
Big fan of Grandia. Did you know there was a short-lived Grandia MMORPG?
Oh, yeah, they had a Final Fantasy X one. That got canceled. Must have been those good old layoffs at Square, huh? You know, Square must have been dying as a company when they were laying off their employees. Right?
Apparently it wasn't very good. There's like 4 screenshots literally in the world that exist.
Actually, don't look that bad.
I kind of wish I had a chance to play it. What about previous versions?
What about that Sega game, Propeller Arena? It's so funny he never talks about Sega games like that. What about the Streets of Rage MMO? I know my stuff. It's so funny that you never talk about Sega games.
The Warhammer MMO. These games that are online, they matter. They have fan bases. They have an important impact on the world.
No, they don't. That's why nobody's buying them and playing them.
Guess the whole point of the Stop Killing Games initiative is that as these closures increase, as these studios continue to unfortunately get shuttered and stuff, I can't help but think that the Stop Killing Games initiative might be the most important thing in gaming. And
how is it important? You guys can say, go woke, you go broke. These are the things that gamers have said. Regardless if you dislike the game or not, you guys have been on record trying to destroy video games. Okay, that's fine. I just look at it as a game that I just don't want to play. You guys are going out there with your pitchforks and laughing. Let's not forget laughing when you see these games and these studios go under. You do it with Microsoft, you do it with Sony, and you do it with Nintendo. You know where that comes from? Ding, 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 ding. Good answer. Call fanboys. You know, like you, that want Xbox to be dead 1,000 times. And you want to cry. This is why I don't take you full seriously. You guys sit there and say, oh, we're tired of people, we're tired of all this, but then you advocate for it differently when it's a different piece of product. It's fine for games to be alive, but then you're the same dude lining up for go woke and go broke. That's a hypocrite.
Hyperbolic. I want my stuff to exist. I want to make it where my purchases matter. I want to make it where the games I like to play
They never did.
stay playable. I think about this
Immolation.
I feel weird about the fact that you and I, a lot of us, we're in our 30s, we have nostalgia. We have games we grew up with that are still playable today. Maybe in slightly different versions, like I love Final Fantasy VI. There's a lot of different versions of Final Fantasy VI, right?
You should be advocating for Sega to bring their RPGs over.
But it's still playable. I do feel bad for a lot of those kids out there that are growing up with games today that are online only.
What are you, hold on. What? Hold on, what? What are you talking about? The kids don't care enough to play these games. See? This is what it's always been about. Nobody cares. I'm sorry. You guys sound like people that listen to Elvis Presley and you want the young generation to listen to your music. They don't care. What do you don't understand? They don't care to play your games. We got retro games. We got all these games. Gaming has been more accessible than it's ever been. And you ain't never going to see a Fortnite kid drop down and play this crap, this 8-bit, 16-bit looking crap. I'm not trying to disrespect. I'm just trying to say it in a way where you guys are like, okay, games, I see what you're saying. That's why I'm saying it. I'm not saying the game's bad. I like Final Fantasy. Well, I think it's overrated, but still. I'm saying it in this perspective so you guys so it can hit your stupid little 40, 50-year-old fried brain that these casuals, these new age gamers don't care. You think, why would I want to play a 16-bit game when I got Fortnite with 3D graphics? Why would I play that? That look like trash. That's what they're going to sit there and tell you.
And I guess I think about the fact
that's garbage.
What happens when those servers get shut off? Those kids will not be able to experience the glory of nostalgia that we have.
They're not experiencing it now. What do you see? You see what I'm saying? Games still want to know. Bro, they don't care. You really think a kid's worried about Final Fantasy, mommy? They go to win Final Fantasy. They out here spending their money on Roblox. All right? Cut the cat, man. Ain't no kid crying about this. I'm telling you, bro, I know. The only people out here crying is adults such as yourself. You mean the man babies? Is that who he's referring to? Is he calling the man babies kids? Because they clearly ain't children playing Fortnite. Because I'm telling you, 99.9% of those kids don't care about this crap. I'm sorry, that might hurt. I'm unsubscribing from you games. Yeah, well, you know what? You unsubscribe because what I'm telling you is right. Don't get mad at me. I'm not the one causing these problems. I'm just here telling you the truth, no matter how bad it hurts.
Go back and play those games you love, to relive those memories, to find extra quests.
How can they relive a memory if they never even grew up playing the game? The only game they know is Grand Theft Fortnite Battle Pass. I like my Fortnite. I like my Fortnite Battle Pass. What's a Final Fantasy? This game is 2D. I'd rather play a game. Fortnite is 3D. Why the hell would I play a crap like this? Fortnite Battle Pass. Like, y'all ever seen that song? Like, bro, these kids don't care about this crap.
And say, hey, here's the coolness I missed growing up. Here's that.
They're not doing that. The only thing you'll be lucky if they make a Final Fantasy skin and they buy it. Like, bro, like, this is what it's always been about. You know, you old heads need to, like, bro, grow up. I don't care if kids don't like my games. I like them. You think a person that's old listening to oldies, you know, you think maybe some, you think they really care about the kids that don't like, sweet little baby, You think any of these YNs listening to this crap? Sweet little baby. I mean, your oldies become memes. And the lady thinks that her song is popular. Oh, everybody, all the kids like my song. Girl, it's a meme. They don't like it. They just use it because they think it's funny. Grow up.
Extra cool beat.
Oh.
Stop killing games matters.
No, it doesn't. Because it starts with the gamers first. If Stop Killing Games matter, then you would be buying all these games. You would be supporting them. You would be doing everything that you can. You wouldn't be wishing upon the death of Xbox. Cut the cat, bro. Man out here talking about stop killing games while he out here buying game key cards. Bruh, I'm done, man. Like I said, all I know is there ain't not one kid gonna be playing this 16-bit trash garbage. Because that's what they saying. Look at that. Look at the graphics. that's so stupid. Why when he sit there, he hit the guy, but he don't even move? There's no cutscenes. This game sucks. It's not even cinematic. You know, they should have really left this to Final Fantasy. You know, this should have been the final game they ever made. I'm telling you, Jimmy, because this game is nothing but a fantasy. Because only a person with a fantasy would even think about some lousy final game like this, right, Timmy? You're right. Who like these oldies? They suck. It ain't 3D. Like my good old Fortnite Battle Pass. I like my Fortnite. I like my Fortnite Battle Pass. This game ain't 2D. I wish it 3D. Like, bro, hopefully you guys enjoy this video, man. You old heads, man. You keep disappointing me with this. You keep disappointing me, man. I'm going to have a few old heads unsubscribe and say, Gamester, you wrong. I don't like you no more. Why? Because I don't want to get all mad about something that I can't change. You guys do this every day. You guys, I swear, humans, they fight about things they can't even change. The only person you can change is yourself. Hopefully you guys got that reference. Take care. Peace out.